Hi and welcome to Gamers Web Unboxed. Today I'm going to take a quick look at the robot faction for Fallout Wasteland Warfare from Modiphius Entertainment. I've been waiting for this for quite a while. I was pre-order, but I was way at the bottom of the queue to actually receive my goods, but it's finally here, and I think now that Modiphius have fulfilled all of the pre-order pledges. So let's just jump in. Okay, so the front of the cover, which is basically the cover of the game itself. 32mm scale, high quality multi-part resin miniatures from Modiphius Entertainment. And then on the back of the box, I was a bit surprised when I saw this, because the back of the box basically doesn't really show you anything. There's nothing there. It looks like the text is missing. Now, I don't know if this is a manufacturing process fault or it's meant to intentionally be like this, but anyway, let's crack on. So I'm just going to quickly open the box and we can have a look. Let's take the cellophane now. This is blind because I've not actually opened this, I only received it this morning. So there we go. Right, so first of all we take out the components and see what we've got. Right. Okay, so that's an empty box, and we have a scenario, which is Steel Clad Manhunt. So there's the details for the scenario, and that's the victory conditions and things like that. And there's a nice wee picture of an automated turret, and then we'll get to the miniatures in a second. But first, we'll get onto the cards. As always, they come in a Ziploc bag, which is great because these things are very, very handy. We have the AI cards, Self-Destruct and the AI Robot, Protecton, iBots, and then Protecton and iBot cards for the game. And then in the other pack, we should have the Sentry Bot and the Assaultron. So we've also got an AI card, Self-Destruct AI, and then Assaultron, and we don't have this the Sentry Bot for some reason. It must be in one of the packs. We've still got a couple to go through, and then we've got the usual cards for events and searching, weapons, equipment, all that kind of stuff. Iguana on stick, robot repair kit, Assaultron swipe, Assaultron head laser. So your equipment for your various things. And then got more item cards here. If I can just, I'm just going to quickly look at these. So more item cards, Armed and Dangerous, Patek iBot, Fanatic, Electronic Trap, Dizzy, iBot Advertisement, Static Build-Up, Sprint, more Piercing, Silence, Blowtorched, Robotic Bits, Protectron Hand Laser, iBot Laser. And then finally, actually, I've got another bag here. I don't know if I've not opened this one. Got another 2 bags to go through this. This might be the Sentry Bot. No, that's Mr. Handy. And there's the AIs for Mr. Handy, Self-Destruct again, and Mr. Handy Flamer, Mr. Handy Buzzsaw, Mr. Handy Fuel, and another card which is purposely blank on both sides, which I've still not been able to work out the reason why. I'm going to have to speak with James and find out exactly why that is that. Okay, and this will be the Sentry Bot. So your AI cards again, Self-Destruct, Sentry Bot, and there's the Sentry Bot in all the glory. And then finally, more cards, and these are just unstable fusion core. To throw a fusion core, roll X if it explodes in the hand of the model immediately, otherwise it explodes on impact, no scatter. And it does +2 yellow on the lightning symbol, which is electrical attack. And then Relentless Rain, Quick Load, Ready for More, Refined, Bowler Hat, which is great for putting on your Mr. Handy, Robot Repair Kit, Missile Launcher, and Minigun. Okay, so that's the cards out of the way for the moment. Right, so what we're going to do now is have a quick look at the miniatures. So I'm going to start with the sentry bot first because this is the one I've been looking forward to seeing. Now, as always with the Modiphius bases, figures, they come with an integral base. So the base is already sculpted to save you going through all the trouble of having to do it. That's the largest of the bases. And here's the chassis on the sentry bot. Great detail, as always. Right down to the fusion core on the back of the sentry bot there. Okay, and then there's the weaponry. And the odd little bit and pieces that go on the back. And if I can just show you, there's the head of the sentry bot. Okay, so that's the sentry bot out of the way. And next up is, I'm going to save that one for last because that's my favourite. So these are the ones that I don't like, so I'll do these first. I never liked them in the game, so I'm just going to get rid of these now. Right now, for some reason I've got 3 Assaultrons. I thought I only meant to get 2. Okay, so there's an Assaultron with close combat weapons, and there's another posed Assaultron with close combat weapons, again with the scenic base, and there's the Assaultron with a spinning blade. Don't know if you can see. Fantastic, great detail. You'll have to forgive me, I've got a chest infection, so my throat is really sore at the moment, thanks to my son Zachary, who is almost 3 and he's not been well, but he's getting on the best side. Okay, so another scenic base and a clear perspex rod, which will come in handy in a second because that's for the iBot. You see these floating around the wastelands. Now this is really good attention to detail and very well cast. Those veins on the back of the iBot must be a nightmare to cast because they're so fine, yet they're not that fiddly. So basically there's only one little piece of flash on this, which is that piece there, that'll come off, and then I'll clean these up afterwards, and then that'll just fit in there, and it just hovers along and delivers the news to everyone, or attach it with its laser. They are quite annoying in Fallout 76 at the moment as well. And then here we have Mr. Handy. So you could use this as Cogsworth or any of the other Mr. Handys that appear in the game, because Mr. Handy is just a generic robot name. Again, fantastic attention to detail. He doesn't have a clear base, he's actually floating on a plume of fire. And then finally we get on to my favourites. Now these are the ones that I absolutely love in Fallout. They're really retro, they always remind me of Robbie the Robot. These are Patek Drones. My painting skills are not as good as they used to be because my eyesight is quite poor at the moment. But I'm really going to take my time with these, and I'm going to do one as a police and one as a fire, I think. But they're cool. I just love the way they just ponder around the Fallout universe. That's one, and there's the other one. Brilliant. All really good. Great detail, and they'll go together quite easily. And as you noticed, there's very little flash on these models, which is a good testament for the guys at Modiphius. The quality control is fantastic. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pause the video, and then I'll get back once these are assembled. I'll get them on the turntable so you can actually see them up close and personal. I shall be right back. Okay, welcome back. Just have a quick look at these miniatures on the turntable. The lighting's pretty bad, I'm afraid, because my light on my box has broken. I'm going to have to get that fixed. Okay, so here's the sentry bot. As you can see, it's exactly like a sentry bot in Fallout. Looks brilliant, great attention to detail. I did actually think when I was assembling it that there was a piece missing because I wasn't sure where the real leg was, and then I looked at it and I thought, right, there it is. Okay, this is just pushed into the base, it's not actually glued on the base. as such, and there's very, very little flash on this miniature. You do get a choice of two guns, two of the Gatling cannons on the right arm, and what looks like an assault cannon on the other arm. So you can equip it whichever way you want to, really. You've got 3 weapons that you can equip. Very, very little flash, as I say. Just a tiny little bit there on the tubing that I missed, but that's quite easy to take out and sort out in a moment. So that's the sentry bot. I'll just quickly pause this, and then you can see the rest of the miniatures. Okay, so this is the iBot. Unfortunately, this lighting is not very good at all, and it's not showing up all the detail, but this is quite an accurate and detailed model kit. The veins on the back are really well rendered. Just trying to turn the light off on my phone for a second to see if you can actually get a better look at it. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually stop the turntable so you can actually have a look at the model itself. Right, I'm going to get that nice and close for you. There we go. So there's the iBot. Great detail. Not been primed, not been cleaned up really. It's just basically taken straight out of the packet, and not even glued onto the base. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go on to the next model. Okay, so these are the 3 Assaultrons. You do get 3 in the actual set. I thought it was only 2, and I got an extra one for some reason, but it's actually 3. I just checked on the Modiphius website. If you just bear with me 2 seconds, I'm just going to actually turn this light off because this light is far too bright. Okay, for some reason I can't turn the light off. Never mind. Anyway, you can see that the Assaultrons are all posed really well, and they look fantastic, and they look quite menacing. And with all the as with all the Assaultrons, they're feminine. They've got a feminine style body. So one of these is going to be painted up as Cleo, which is one of the characters that you find in Fallout 4, who is a vendor and always comes out with sassy comments to the player character. Okay, and just move on to the next part. Okay, now he's leaning at one side, but this is a Mr. Handy. Now you see there's a little bit of flash on the legs of the miniature, and also one of the arms, the one with the buzzsaw, looks like it's a wrong handle. That didn't go on very well for some reason, but these have just been quickly tacked together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean them up properly. What I'd suggest to do to actually clean all this little bits of flash off is to actually use a toothbrush very gently and just rub that over the miniature. That should work fine. Okay, finally the last 2 miniatures. Okay, now these are my favourites. These are the Patek Drones. I really like these. Now each of these models has its own individual base. The base is for that specific model, so you can't swap and match with them. They all look fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to get all the models onto the turntable and have one last look before we round things up. Okay, so finally here's the entire Robot Faction box. As you can see, the sentry bot is trying to get off his base because he's not being glued on. But you get the gist, and you see that although he's listing to one side, which I'm just going to pop him back on again. There we go. They look fantastic. Okay folks, so that's it. That's a quick look at the unboxing of the Robot Faction for Fallout Wasteland Warfare from Modiphius Entertainment. It's available now directly from Modiphius and from all good stockists everywhere. As always, I've been Mark. Gamers Web, by gamers, for gamers.